Have you ever opened your eyes in the gray half-light of morning and felt a quiet ache? A sense that life is sprinting ahead while you're still tying your shoes? Maybe you shuffle to the mirror, stare at your own reflection, and wonder how an ordinary day turned into an endless to-do list that feels nothing like the life you once imagined. Breathe in. Hold it for a moment, then let it go. This single breath is the doorway to a different story, one where you choose each step instead of letting the world drag you along for the ride. Take a seat, keep your pen nearby, and let these words wash over you like fresh rain on dusty ground, because what follows is a blueprint for helping you reclaim control, ignite purpose, and build success that lasts. Everything begins with brutal honesty about what you really want, far beneath the polite answers you give when someone asks about your 5-year plan. Imagine a private cinema playing the most vibrant version of your life. What scenes flash across the screen? A fulfilling career where your talents feel like superpowers? Mornings that start with peace instead of panic? Evenings spent with people who see you, hear you, and love you? This vision isn't a luxury, it's your compass. Without it, you'll drift, reacting to every twist of circumstance, saying yes to obligations that dull your spirit. With it, you transform chaos into a clear path. The simple act of naming your deepest desires stakes a flag in the landscape of possibility and whispers to your mind, this is the direction. Once that compass is set, you need rails to keep the journey on track. Call them routines, rituals, or daily anchors. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you choose them deliberately. Picture the first 20 minutes after you wake. Do you grab your phone and tumble into everyone else's agenda? Or do you step into silence, sip water, stretch your body, and ask, what will make today meaningful? When you guard that fragile dawn, you program your brain to serve your priorities instead of feeding on distraction. Throughout the day, treat deep focus blocks as sacred. Close every tab you don't need. Put your phone in another room. Let your mind dive so fully into a single task that time dissolves. Later, gift yourself intentional pauses to breathe, to wander, to feel sunlight on your face, because productivity without recovery is erosion. No system survives without energy, so tend to the machine of your body as if it were priceless, which, in truth, it is. Sleep is not a badge of laziness. It's your brain's nightly maintenance crew, clearing debris so you wake clear and sharp. Nourish yourself with food that fuels rather than fogs. Move every day, even if only for a brisk walk or a few stretches, because motion sends a message to every cell that life is worth engaging. Small, consistent choices trump occasional heroic efforts. You don't need to run a marathon tomorrow. You just need to keep your promise to move today and tomorrow and the next day, until momentum becomes identity. Clarity, routine, and health create the skeleton of a balanced life, but alignment gives it a heartbeat. Alignment is that electric hum you feel when your actions mirror your values. You can hustle from dawn to midnight and still collapse into burnout if the climb isn't tied to something you believe in. Pause right now and ask, does the way I spend my hours honor what matters most to me? If not, start pruning. Some commitments may need a gentle goodbye, others a firm no. Each boundary you draw protects the space where your purpose can grow. Self-awareness is the flashlight you carry through this pruning. Shine it on your strengths, and you discover leverage points, places where you can achieve twice the impact with half the effort, because you're playing to your natural gifts. Shine it on your weaknesses, and you see where to build systems that keep you from tripping on the same stone twice. Self-awareness turns life from a guessing game into a strategy session, and strategy thrives on discipline. Discipline is the quiet voice that reminds you to act when motivation slips out the back door. It's reading 10 pages when Netflix beckons, finishing a workout set when your muscles plead to quit, saving a small amount of money instead of impulsively spending because your future self deserves security. The more you keep these micro-promises, the more you trust yourself, and self-trust is rocket fuel. Still, a rocket stays aloft only by constantly adjusting course. Flexibility keeps you from snapping when life's winds change direction. Projects stall, plans crumble, pandemics appear, markets crash. Rigidity shatters under stress. Adaptability bends, learns, reorients. It's the quiet confidence that says, my destination remains, but my route can shift. Paired with discipline, flexibility lets you dance with chaos rather than be devoured by it. Of course, no dance is complete without partners. Humans flourish in connection. Even the most introverted soul is wired for belonging. Seek mentors who challenge you to grow, friends who celebrate your weirdness, communities who share your passions. Your circle becomes a mirror reflecting who you can become, so choose people whose reflections ignite hope, not resignation. Offer them your genuine support in return. Success constructed in isolation often feels hollow. Success woven through relationship gains color, depth, and resilience. Now zoom in to the granular level of a single day, because the future is nothing more than a mosaic of todays. Spend 10 minutes each evening or close to dawn plotting tomorrow. Decide your top 3 priorities before the urgent and trivial steal center stage. Sketch when you'll tackle them and guard those blocks like a meeting with someone you deeply respect. This small ritual turns ambition into itinerary. Consistent daily planning also quiets anxiety. Your mind relaxes when it sees everything important has a slot. Momentum thrives on movement, but overwhelm can paralyze. When tasks tower like mountains, shrink them. Write 1 paragraph, send 1 email, take 5 push-ups, whatever fragment feels laughably manageable. Progress, no matter how modest, flips a mental switch from helpless to capable. Meanwhile, minimize sensory clutter. Silence notifications. Keep only the browser window you need. Clutter saps cognitive bandwidth. Clear space frees it. In overwhelming seasons, your breath is both anchor and compass. Pausing for 3 slow inhales and exhales switches your nervous system from fight or flight to calm engagement. With a clearer head, reevaluate. What truly must get done now, and what can wait or disappear altogether? Ruthless prioritization isn't unkind. It's a mercy to yourself and to the quality of everything you ultimately deliver. Underpinning all this is self-discipline, which might sound like shackles, but is in fact the opposite. Discipline liberates by removing the friction of daily indecision. Decide once, automate often. Meal prep healthy lunches on Sunday. Lay out workout clothes the night before. Schedule reading time as you would any essential appointment. Each automation preserves willpower for higher-level challenges. A powerful companion to discipline is the art of strategic refusal. Every yes consumes finite resources, time, focus, energy. Before agreeing, pause and measure the request against your compass. If the answer isn't a soul-level yes, honor yourself with a gracious no. This single practice will declutter your calendar, your mind, and your emotional landscape faster than any productivity hack. People who value you will respect those boundaries. People who don't are giving you a gift by revealing themselves early. All these threads, clarity, routine, health, alignment, awareness, discipline, flexibility, connection, planning, and the courage to say no, interweave into a tapestry you consciously design rather than unconsciously endure. Designing a life you love doesn't necessarily mean quitting your job tomorrow or moving to an island, though it might if that's what calls you. Often it begins with subtle shifts, replacing one draining habit with one enlivening ritual, spending 15 minutes on a passion project after work, swapping mindless scrolling for an evening walk beneath fading sunlight. As these tweaks accumulate, your days start to feel less like placeholders and more like brush strokes on a canvas you're proud to sign. Yet even a beautifully designed life can be hijacked by autopilot. If you lose sight of purpose, that magnetic north deeper than goals or feelings. Purpose is the reason your heart beats faster at certain ideas, the reason some injustices stir righteous anger, the reason you feel alive when you serve in a particular way. Purpose doesn't always shout. Sometimes it murmurs, revealed through themes that keep resurfacing in your life. Trace those threads. What pain have you endured that you're now equipped to help others overcome? What curiosity lights you up beyond rational explanation? Purpose, once named, turns ordinary actions into bricklaying for a cathedral of meaning. With purpose firm, distractions lose their pull. You can decline invitations that used to guilt-trip you, postpone pleasures that undermine your mission, and face hardship with a steadier gaze because struggle now serves a story that transcends discomfort. Set concrete milestones that translate lofty purpose into measurable progress. A purpose to educate becomes a goal to publish an article by month's end, which becomes a task to outline that article tonight. The grand becomes graspable, and the graspable builds the grand. Doubt will still knock, fatigue will still whisper temptations, and you will stumble. Accept this as part of the terrain, not evidence you're on the wrong road. When setbacks arrive, treat them as feedback. Adapt your tactics. Keep your eyes on the horizon. Perseverance, fueled by purpose, turns valleys into vantage points where you glimpse how far you've already come. Pause for a final deep breath. Picture yourself a year from now. Your mornings begin with intention. Your health feels steady and strong. Your calendar reflects your values. Your relationships nourish rather than drain. Challenges still appear, but you meet them with a quiet confidence that once felt impossible. That future isn't a fantasy. It is the compound interest of decisions you start honoring today, guarding focus, crafting habits, and daring to live so intentionally that drifting becomes unthinkable. If these words stirred something inside you, let that spark kindle action. Close this page, pick one idea that resonated, and implement it within the next hour. Send that difficult email, map tomorrow's priorities, take a walk instead of another social media scroll. Tiny deeds beat towering intentions left idle. Begin now, because the life you deserve is built in the present tense, one deliberate choice at a time, and your extraordinary story is waiting to be written.